Rugged, lightweight, comfortable, handcrafted rockin' leather boots. Made to work all day and be out all night. RockinLeather.com. Introducing the Rixey Generation 2 Dog Stand. Lightweight, collapsible, and engineered for versatility. This stand is built with laser-cut powder-coated steel frame, tempera aluminum legs, and a durable Duramesh fabric. Weighing just under 8 pounds, it's effortless to carry and set up. With a working load limit of 120 pounds, it attaches to nearly any tree. Available now at RixeyOutdoors.com.
Winter Productions, content creation company that is here to tell your story, whether it's about the love of your life or capturing the chase of a lifetime. We're here to tell your story.
You really can't sell this place. Let's go secure that.
I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Views like a magnet, lose won't have it till I'm wounded in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Passing the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Damn, I was built to last. You move slow when I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
It's time to talk dog vest. Rixey Outdoors dog vest. We use this dog vest all season long. It's stood up to the test. Let's talk some features about it. This dog vest is built with industrial grade Velcro for a snug fit around the neck, unlike any competitors. This vest comes with dual rear straps for a snug fit around the waist. This vest allows for a tucked away handle for the timber and an open handle for open water. This vest also comes with covered edges around the neoprene to prevent chafing. Rixey vest also comes with a Gador chest strip that runs the length of the vest to prevent punctures and cuts. This vest comes with 6 different sizes, tailored to fit the smallest organ to the biggest slab. Rixey Outdoors, the only fully adjustable one-piece dog vest on the market. Check them out online.
Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so this is the second time doing this podcast because I junked it so bad last time that we had to redo it. Everything's updated. I did updates an hour ago on everything. We had issues last time. I got flustered. I didn't do a good job interviewing this man, and he deserves to be interviewed properly. Then we got Todd from Rixey Outdoors, and we're talking dog stands, what's being on trade shows, and now, dude, it's fall. It's 2 more weeks later. Trade shows are pretty much done. I think there's 1 more left for the year, and that's about it. And it's going to be time to start hunting. We're going to be teal hunting literally in less than a week and a half. We're teal hunting in Illinois. So all I got to say is we're getting fueled up tonight with Dirty Duck. I'm about to crack one of these cans as soon as I start calling Todd, and we're going to get after it. So y'all ready for this? Let's do it. Here you go. What's going on, man?
What's happening, man?
Oh, we're just going to try round 2 here and see if I can't mess this up again.
Technology's involved. You never know what's going to happen.
It is a nightmare recently. It has been one. But man, I do apologize for that because like I just said in the little intro there, you deserved a better podcast, and that's what that was. And that's kind of what I told you. Like it didn't turn out that great, and I didn't want, let alone you deserve to have like a good podcast put out. I mean, you put out a good product, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Some dog stand stuff, some Arkansas stuff, life, football, about everything.
Sure, fire away, man.
Man, let's so it's been a little while since we've talked. And I've kind of got an idea what all's going on, but let's talk a little bit about Rixey Dog Stands right off the rip. Let's talk about, your product and kind of how like this trade season went and stuff. Y'all just finished up 2 shows. I think you might have 1 more if you're on the Shin Fest. I seen you posting about it. Are you going to be at Shin Fest this year?
Man, I'm not 100% sure. I would like to be. I'm not sure it's going to work out. I'm going to try to make it. I am donating. They're doing a couple of auction items for raising for conservation, so I'll definitely donate, and I'm going to try to make it. I made it the first 2 years, and I would like to continue, so we'll see. I'm not, like I said, I'm not 100% sure I can make it. I know Bryce with Black River Duck Calls is going to be there, and I think Jeremy's going to go work his booth, so I don't know. I may try to swing it. If I do, I don't know that I'm gonna have a booth. I may just go to hang out and enjoy it. So
I mean, honestly, like I kind of love just going and hanging out at the shows. Like I've kind of set a goal for this kind of fall because I'm about to kick off this weekend. I kick off wedding season for the 2nd time this year, and I've got 6. A 7th one just come up today, but the 7th one it falls on December 12th or 13th, and I'm like 99% sure the 2nd split of Arkansas duck season is going to be open, and I've got 20 hours of vacation to burn, and I'm like, you know what I can do with 20 hours of vacation? I was like, I can be in Arkansas for 4 days.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean the Shin Fest is cool. Now it's on a weekend and just in Memphis, so a couple hours from me, so I don't have to burn any time getting away from work or anything like that. So it's an easy one to make it to. It does fall on one of the muzzleload weekends, but I going to that the last couple of years has been awesome. I mean, it's a super unique thing. I mean, as far as there are a lot of vendors and stuff there, but just the short films that these guys are making are incredible. And the vibe, I mean, you've got a concert going on during all the kind of pregame. You got college football playing, and then it transitions into the short films. And last year, I think they had 5 short films, and Matt Carey won it, which is a friend of mine, and it had featured some dog stands in it. That was the one that Gunner sponsored the production of, and it was a bit about Luke Moore's his old dog and his new dog, and kind of the transition from his old dog to his new dog. And man, every film though was awesome, well produced, and just phenomenal. So getting to see and do all that, it's worth the trip to Memphis, no doubt.
Yeah, they put on maybe. So I only know of one other like film festival, and it was the Badlands Film Festival. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, and it was done I forget. It's like Indiana, maybe Missouri up that way. It's more. I guess it's open. Like it can be about anything. Where this is strictly water, pretty much based around waterfowl. I mean, the
Yeah, I
story
mean, the
usually
short
is
films are amazing. I
above.
mean, the one that won it 2 years ago,
Oh, that
Godwink, I think was the name of it. Did you see that?
yeah. I mean, that one I showed
That
about
made
30
uh,
seconds to some
break
people, and they
down
were
and
like,
cry as
"No,
a grown man right there. It
dude,
was
that
that was good. And then of course, Matt's film that they did last year with Luke and his dogs. Man, it was touching too. But they're all phenomenal. The year before or 2 years ago, they did one on that was about Rex Hancock and the Cache River. I can't remember the name of that.
7 Mile,
But man, that was
7 Mile
near and
something."
dear to my heart because it's an area that I hunt, and it just kind of talked about how Rex Hancock basically started the movement to save that part of the Cache River, and that was cool. If anybody hadn't watched that, it is worth the watch for sure.
100%. If you go to Arkansas, which we're gonna get into some Arkansas politics because I tried to get into it last time. I didn't do a very good job of it, and since the move, there's been a big movement, and a lot of your good friends are involved in that big movement, and we're gonna get to that eventually. But so I know you've got the dog stand, you've got the I forget what it's called, the attachment that goes on the back of it where you can.
The quick hook, yeah.
Yep, the quick hook. And honestly, that I accidentally ended up with one thanks to you and us kind of been in a rush trying to leave, getting the us pack up and go come drive 12 hours
Yeah.
home, and you get to work. I like got halfway home and I was like putting gas and walked past the boat and I was like, oh crap, Todd left his quick hook in my boat. Honestly, that's a cool hunt. Just to like reminisce on that one real quick. That was a hunt that like we kind of sat around. We shot at some birds, killed a couple wood ducks, and we just kind of sat around and talked. And just to get a pick your mind and talk about Arkansas and like the culture of it, I think that's one of the cool things that like is becoming a big thing. Is you all are talking about the culture and stuff, and how kind of that older generation is kind of getting trampled by this younger generation, and maybe it's a social media thing that it's getting missed by maybe some people that I guess like they're not like it's talked about like who's got the flashiest thing and stuff. I think Bryce talks the best about it if you really want to listen to someone.
Yeah, I mean it is. I think social media in general kind of appeals to the person who is the most entertaining and things like that. And I think sometimes you know what you're talking about. People who um, are focused more on their boat and their truck and everything else than they are, just enjoying the duck hunt. I think that is kind of a something that's happened in in modern hunting, duck hunting in general. It's an interesting thing because I mean, if I look back and look at where me and my friends were 20-25 years ago while we were duck hunting, we were scrambling to find a boat that had a motor that ran. We were trying to piece together, a couple dozen decoys, and now to see, you know, kids and people roll out with, you're talking $80,000 worth of gear, not counting the truck. Um, is it's so different, and I feel like there is a large number of those people that are more worried about looking good and those types of things than they are about enjoying it. Now, I'm all about good gear. I've
Yeah.
got some shin waders, and man, I tell you what, from a guy that used to piece together. If you ever look at my old pictures on there, I mean, I had shadowgrass waders hunting the timber, and um, so when I got my first set of really nice waders, I got some shin waders when they first came out. Man, I mean, it hurt me to pay that much, but they have been well worth it. So I'm a big fan of good gear, but I do think sometimes people let the gear and the fashion part of it overtake what we're really out there for, which is to enjoy the resource and enjoy what it's all about. So if you want to buy good gear, I am all about it. But I think you've got to keep things in perspective and, you know, try to really enjoy what's out there and not be focused on trying to just have the coolest stuff. So I think that's something that is definitely kind of trending right now. So
Yeah, I mean, let's think about when you got into duck hunting. I mean, like even the guys who like might have had really nice gear and stuff, they didn't abuse it. Like my biggest hate is like, yes, I have a mud motor, but like I drive it more like an outboard than I drive. Like I bought a mud motor because I was terrified of hitting something under the surface water and breaking my lower unit. I had a bad experience with a custom outboard that really all it was a souped up 25, which 90% of the people in Arkansas have. If not, they have now the souped up 40s and 50 Mercs, I think they are. And like I had a bad experience, and that's why I bought a mud motor. But I drive that thing still like I don't even like it getting in the mud half time. Like I don't understand. You see all these videos of these guys, and they're stuck on a mud flat. I'm like, how did you get there? Like what possessed you to like take that piece of equipment and put it there? Like
yeah, I, up until about, oh man, I don't know, 5 years ago, I had an old, I was a 1980s Evinrude 25, and it had the 30 carbs, and it would run pretty good. But man, I spent more time with the cowling off of that sucker at the boat ramp at 2:30 in the morning, wrapping a rope around the top and pulling it and spraying carb cleaner in the carbs. And now I've got a 4-stroke, and man, push the button, knock on wood, but push the button and it starts right up. And I'm super thankful for that, but I also kind of baby it, you know.
yeah. I mean,
I don't run it full tilt unless it's somewhere where I need to, or I know it's wide open. And because I, you know, it's a lot of money to replace that motor to fix it. So I definitely still have that kind of old school value. It reminds me of my great aunt that was raised in the Depression, and man, she would find something on sale and she would buy 10 of them and stick it away. And I think some of those old habits stick with you when you, um, you know, you're raised one way, and you tend to kind of hang on to that. So I feel like I'm still that way with taking care of my stuff and wanting things to last a long time and not being frivolous with the way that I spend money or treat things. So
well, you saying that makes me think of my grandpa. Like, I was raised, and my dad raised me this way, and my mother to have like to have a savings account. There's so many people that don't even have like a savings account or an emergency account or like all this stuff. Like people are like, oh, you have all this nice stuff. I'm like, I hustle 24/7 to make money on the side so that I can have the fun stuff because I'm terrified. Like our van door on our Toyota van, like I have talked so much about Toyota vehicles, and we've had 2 of them, and up until the insurance totaled the car because she slid in a ditch and the side airbags went off and no damage was done to the car, which was complete crap. They totaled it, but she ended up with her van, and she's put, I don't know, 5 years I think on it, 4 or 5 years on it now, and like that thing's been a tough. Well, the motor went out in the door. And like what bugged me more than anything was we just have to spend money out of our emergency account or our savings account to get that door fixed. I mean, we're getting it checked out this week, and it just, I feel like there's some people that are like, oh, just like they don't know what to do there. Like I'm going to be fine and I have the money to cover it, but it's because I value the whole. You don't just blow your money on every little thing. Like, yeah, I've bought a lot of really nice stuff, and I believe in the good gear and all that, but like you've got to value that. If you put value in your stuff, you're going to put value in everything around your stuff at the same time.
yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. I think, you know, there are, you know, um, people that are raised to appreciate things. And man, some of the wealthiest kids I've taught in school, and people I know are as much like that as anybody. So I don't think it's about how much money you've got. I think it's just a mindset of, you know, wanting to take care of the stuff you have, especially when you get to the point where you can afford to buy a nice boat or buy something nice to be able to take care of it. So um, you know, I posted a video earlier this year. There was a group. There's 5 guys. Forrest and I were hunting by me to there were 5 guys in 5 boats, and they were coming by, and it was probably 5:30 a.m. or something like that. But they were all together, and there were 5 different boats with 5 different guys, and they drove by one right after the other. And I I don't know. It was kind of one of those things. I was like, man, I go with the carpool. Anytime I can ride with somebody to the hole, or to the boat ramp, and then jump in with somebody else and use somebody else's boat in that situation, dude, I'm riding with somebody else. Or pile 3 guys in mine. But um, I can't say that if my dad had bought me a boat when I was 18 years old, that I wouldn't have done the same thing. Um, but I am at the point now where, man, I'd rather ride with my buddies out there and enjoy it. I enjoy boat riding with somebody else anyway. Um, so it's definitely a hot topic, something that is changed. But that also, Brad asked that question on that post, like, you know, are are there really that many more people? Or are there, I would venture to say 15, 20 years ago, if there were 10 trucks at the ramp, you're probably averaging 3 people per truck. And now, if there's 10 trucks at the ramp, maybe 2 people per truck. So makes me wonder about the overcrowding issue. I know there's more boats, more trucks, but how many more people are there? Brings up a pretty interesting question.
Is it a parking issue, or is it an actual crowd in the woods?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you'll drive by a boat ramp that seems like it used to be 10 trucks in the parking lot. Now there's 15 or 20. And it makes me wonder, is that the same number of guys that used to be, and just a whole bunch more trucks? I don't know. It's an interesting question. I'd love to see more data on that and be able to kind of really know. Um, one of the big ramps in Arkansas that has access to the white and the cache. I won't name the name on here, but there will be cars now, that are. I mean, they'll be backed up to City Hall. I mean, on a Saturday, there's liable to be 250 trucks and boats. So I know there's more people there than there used to be, and the woods are definitely more crowded. But I definitely think more people ride 1 or 2 per boat now than they used to. So
Yeah.
it may be some of that, um, overcrowding or apparent overcrowding.
Well, I think boats have become more accessible. Let's look at the market. I mean, I've told someone that they've always talked about, oh, I want to get a boat. And I'm like, shop in February. February, you can buy 1-year-old boats. Look over them good, like make them, put them in, make sure they float. They haven't dinged them up real bad. You can buy like a 1-year-old boat, $10,000 off price, because all they did was buy it and put down a lump sum, knock it down, and then use it one season. They sell it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would, if I told you how much I paid for my boat that I still run, you'd probably laugh.
is it is it the War Eagle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
told me about that one. Yeah, I actually know about that one.
And I don't have a lot of money in my boat, and it's treating me right. So it's not the fastest, but I've got a solid motor on it, and it's reliable. And man, that's all I really need. Something to get me out there. I don't race too many times a year these days, so I can get out there consistently and be safe. That's all I really care about.
I drive a mud motor, so I'm not outrunning anybody. Like, I'm not trying to outrun anybody. I literally, how we beat people is we just go earlier. Like, I mean, we go like 3 a.m. Like, I mean, a lot of people, like, it surprised me at the time I've been in Arkansas. I was like, I wanted to get there early because, like, you know what I mean? Like, you hear the stories of like the people that show up at like shooting time and they're driving around in their boats, and I was like, I don't want to be that person. So we've always went, early enough where we could kind of be setting to go kind of into where we want to be, or the area. Because, I mean, we're like, okay, we're probably going to have to find an area because the spot we want, we're probably not going to get. So we're probably going to have to do a little looking and stuff. But it blew me away the amount of people that were like just later, that 5 or later kind of time. And I'm like, man, that's where, I mean, like, and I get that, because those people are like, okay, we're out of all the hustle and bustle of the 4 a.m. guys and stuff that are wanting to, that are the younger, more jousty that are kind of wanting to race. Some of them are there just to race. They really don't care about hunting. But then like you have, I feel like that group there in the middle that really just are trying to get out there and just have fun. And that's the group that like they were fun to be around and stuff when I was there and everything. And I think that's the great ones to be around. But back to your boat real quick because I keep thinking about this. Did you not last year have like a forget plug issue or something on one of your hunts or?
That was I think a couple of years ago. We were
okay. I remember you posted a video of it.
We were at Black River, and we had gotten directions via GPS, Onyx directions to where we were going. We put in the wrong ramp, which if you look at the block of woods, it looks like you can get there. This is before I had a lot of experience with Black River, but this is a while before that. So we got in the boat. We went to run to this hole, hit a levee, and I'm like, man, this block of woods isn't connected to that block of woods. So I'm like, all right. So we went back to the ramp, loaded up. Of course, we got there right at 4, and we had kids. It was youth hunt. Somebody else had the hole. I just want to make sure I was there in time to be able to cook breakfast. And so drove back, loaded the boat back on the ramp, and somewhere in that, I think my son had taken the plug out because we always do. And then we went to put it back in the other ramp and didn't put the plug back in the boat. And I'll put him back in the water, got him in the water, realized that he's probably, I think 15 at the time. He's still youth hunt age, and realized that the boat was filling up with water. So I had to get the boat, pull it back up to the ramp, back the truck back in, put the boat on the ramp, drain the boat, and then there wasn't a place to get on pad to drain it out. So after all that, we got there, and we got there by shooting time, but we did not have time to cook breakfast. So I think that morning we cooked breakfast after we got done shooting our ducks or something. So it was a rough morning, but it's always something. I've got 1,000 stories like that are something goes wrong, and funny enough, those are the ones you always remember. When everything goes perfect and you shoot a few, you forget those mornings, but the ones where everything goes wrong, and if you're a duck hunter, you already know there's plenty of those.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know, maybe you're talking about the one we were on the Cache River and got about 3 inches of rain while we were hunting, got back to the boat and couldn't get it on pad because there was so much water in the boat from when we were hunting. Yeah, plenty of experiences like that.
No, I think it was the youth hunt one, the one I think you posted about. And no, but like I've been there, but you did the smart thing. You took your boat out of the water, back out of the water. I tried to bilge mine, and what I learned was gator tails apparently can hold a lot of water somewhere in them that's not running back to the bilge to pump out. Because I pumped for a solid, I bet we discussed, I probably ran that pump for an hour, pumping water out of it, it felt like. And I couldn't get on pad. I never was what's wrong? And I was like, I have so much water. I was like, I don't think I have that much water. It's no longer, it was to the point where it was in the floorboard. It had done come up through. And I was like, we should have took our time, sat there, put it back on the trailer, drained it real quick, and then took it back out, and then put it back in. We didn't do that, so we tried to pump it, and then once we did pull it all the way out of the water, I think it probably had another, I'd say 10 gallons still sitting in it, and I was like, well, that was probably part of the problem. I was like, well, we've learned that gator tails can hold a lot of water before they sink. That's a plus, but it's not really your goal to find out on a duck hunt. It was one of those funny mornings where I was just like, I don't think this could go any more wrong. And we had a fun morning. We didn't even we got in the hole. We got a hole that we were happy with, and we sat around and cooked breakfast and had a good time. And I don't know, we didn't shoot anything. We should have shot some birds, but you get that 10 o'clock area, and everybody starts walking away from their tree and lollygagging around and messing around and all that. And then people start leaving. Next thing you know, a group of, I'd say it was probably 15 ducks start circling for no reason at all. And me and my one buddy like talk to him a little bit, and they all of a sudden break down and try to come in, and I was like, oh no, and he's like, what? And I was like, no one's near a gun, and they just try to sit down on top of 3 guys that were like nowhere near a gun, nowhere nothing, and they flare off of them so hard, and my dog's just staring at them whining. I was like, oh well, the dog didn't break. I was like, plus point, but it was just one of those mornings that like we all talked about. It was a fun morning, and we learned a lesson in Arkansas and stuff, and it's just one of those, like you said, like it's not a numbers game, it's the kind of the extra stuff you learn about.
Yeah, I think, I was thinking about that. The one I think you were talking about this year, we were on the Cache, 2 boats, and my buddy had 3 guys with him, and I had a couple of me, and they'd worn them out in there the year or the day before we got in there. We were gonna smoke them. It was about 15 degrees, clear skies, and this hole had stayed open overnight. And we got in there, and we were gonna get after him. But on the way in, his um, his fuel line broke on the plastic connector where it goes into the motor, and so we had to cut with a razor knife, and then we found a piece of tubing in my toolbox or his toolbox. It was about this long, that was just small enough, and kind of whittled it down and fit it inside the other tube, and then back to the fitting of the motor. Got his motor running, got out there, and then on the way out, the plug had slipped because it was iced over. Somehow, when they put the plug in there, I guess there was enough ice in the hole where that plug had just pushed back into the boat, and the boat was about halfway full of water. So we ended up having to, in the shallow spots, get several people out to push it out. It was a debacle, but one of those hunts I definitely will not forget. So
Yeah, so my brother-in-law last year, because he bought my old boat. That's kind of how I ended up with a new boat. Was we needed another boat going to Arkansas, and him and my father-in-law was in a car right all the way home from Wyoming. So I started texting them when they leave Wyoming, like, "Hey, you guys want to buy my boat?" And then by the time they got to West Virginia, I had it sold to them. So 22 hours in a car is how long I can pester someone long enough to get them to buy a boat. But they had it parked at their house, and I did not realize that their barn had a leak. And I don't think they did either. And it had dripped water in their boat and filled up the back compartment all the way up into the floor of the boat. And he sends me like a picture. He goes, "Hey, I got a problem." And I was like, "What's your problem?" And it's just a solid sheet of ice in the bottom of his boat. He opens the battery cabinet. It's just solid ice. I'm like, "Well, you're going to have a lot of broken stuff." He somehow got it to thaw out, get it all undone so he could hunt like the next day with us. And it only, at the time, we didn't think it broke anything. Recently, we learned that I taught them about their onboard charger after they ran their batteries dead. I was like, "Hey, you got a charger in there. You plug that in." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Well, they plugged it in for 2 days, and then batteries wouldn't start. Motor wouldn't even crank over. And they put a jump box on it and start. I'd soon gotten inside that charger and froze it and just busted it all to pieces inside of it. So we just re-rigged him a brand new one. So
the cold will mess you up. One of my favorite stories. Me and my buddy Blake were going to go hunting, and he met me at my house, and it was frozen. And he puts the boat on his hitch. We took his truck, and it was 4-wheel drive. It was iced over. And similar situation, there was probably 3 inches of water in the bottom of the boat that froze. So we took it to the car wash and fired up the car wash and hit it with that sprayer till we finally had enough out where the plug is, put the plug in. So we're already riding heavy, and we're driving about 30 minutes from the house. It's not too far. But behind us, there's a truck, and we're looking back there, and I was like, "Dude, is that dude flashing us?" "Oh, no. It's just bumpy road. It's just his lights going up and down." "Man, are you sure? It looks like that guy's flashing us." No, nobody's flashing us. So we keep driving down this road, and we finally get to this big turn, and we kind of pull off, and the guy, as we turn, you can tell he's flashing us. So we pull in his parking lot, and he did. My buddy Blake gets out, and this guy pulls up. He's like, "Blake." It's the guy that knew us. He's like, "How's it going, buddy?" And Blake's like, "All right." He's like, "Dude, you know you lost your boat back there."
Oh
And
my
my
gosh.
buddy Blake and I like run back there because it's my boat on the back of the truck. I'm like, where's the boat? I'm like, oh no. So he's like, yeah, man, it's like 6 miles back down the road. There's that big house with the big fence. He's like, your boat went off the road, took off, slammed into the fence. I'm like, oh no. So we freaking jump in the truck, run back. My boat had flown off the trailer, or flown off the hitch. I guess it didn't lock correctly because it was frozen. And apparently we had drug it for a while on the safety chain. So the safety chains finally broke through, and the boat beelined out into the middle of this field, ran up right against this guy's fence, but didn't hit it. So we freaking pull out through the field, and everything's frozen, luckily. Hook the boat back up, go hunting. We've got, like I said, 3 inches of ice and some snow in the bottom of the boat. Shoot our 12 ducks and then head to the house. So it ended up being a pretty good morning, but quite a debacle. But I heard somebody was talking about that the other day. I think it was Q-Tip talking about losing a boat.
Yeah, he
And
was talking about it too.
I
Like,
had I got to tell this story while I'm at it because my other buddy Blake was involved in this one too. But Blake and my friend Josh were driving down the freeway, and they were going duck hunting, and they were just heading out. And this was up in Russellville. We went to college in Russellville, and they were driving up the road, and a blizzard had come through. I mean, just heavy snow, and so they were on 40 heading north, and they knew the duck hunting was going to be fantastic, so they're driving. And my buddy had this little boat called the Screaming V, and it was a V bottom, 14-foot V bottom with a 25 on it, and man, we took that thing everywhere. So they took the Screaming V, and they were heading down there. Well, the Screaming V had a roll trailer. It had the old school rollers on it, and somewhere in there the rope broke or something, and the Screaming V rolls off on the middle of 40. And they said they looked in the rear view, and that thing's just like this with the motor dragging, just driving itself down the freeway. So they jumped out, ran back there. They said 18 wheelers were passing on. They drug it off the freeway. And another time, I guess God was smiling on them, but I think they got up there and shot their ducks. But man, you got to be careful when things get icy like that. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong, and
yeah,
I've seen quite a few of them.
it's been a couple years, but my first time in Arkansas, speaking of like a boat dragging the road, we had two boats there, and I was following the guy in front of us. We was going to Bayamita, and like we were there in Stuttgart, kind of crossing by the rice plant, and like I'm kind of sleepy. You know, first morning there, we drove down and stuff, and we'd stayed up late the night before, kind of making game plans. And I'm like, kind of like me and my buddy's up front. He's kind of cocked over in the corner, and we're watching the truck in front of us, and they hit a bump. And like all of a sudden, I'm like, sparks fly. And I go, holy, my eyes get big. I'm like, holy shit. And I was like, what? Did he just lose the boat? And I guess like they had unhooked it. And then when they hooked it back, they didn't get it latched on. And they hit a bump and just dropped it and just started dragging it going down across the bridge there by the rice plant. And like our eyes are huge because I'm like, do they know they're dragging it? So we're like pulling out phones trying to call them like, oh my gosh, they're like dragging this thing. And they stop, and luckily, like I'm the OCD person when I travel, that like I bring everything with me. So like when we got back to the house, like they were like, "Man, we're gonna have to go buy wiring stuff," and I'm like, "No, I got it. It's all in my truck." So I like get out my butt splices and all that, and they're laying underneath it, rewiring it all back together and stuff. I mean, I just became so OCD. I found out about. I didn't know they made DeWalt air compressors. Have you seen the battery powered air compressors?
Yeah.
So now I have one of that's going to be my Christmas gift to myself this year is a DeWalt battery powered air compressor to go in my truck when I go on long travels. Cause I'm like,
I bought one. It's not a heavy duty one, but it's a little one like that for that same thing. My boat or whatever, you throw a spare on there. Those tend to be not aired up like they should be. So that's definitely something that is good to have in your truck.
Yeah. I travel like, I'm so OCD. I watched Echo Duck Calls. Johnny put it out like a few years ago, talking about like all the extra stuff he carries in his boat. So like I sat there and watched that video 5 or 6 times. So I carry like extra fuel line splices, barrel splices, extra kill switches, all kinds of random stuff. Because I'm like, you never know. Like I've had to hand stuff to other guys. Like, hey, here, I can fix you. Like, I got you. I mean, it's crazy how like you can just something freakish can break or something like enough that you can get yourself moving and back to the boat ramp. I mean, there's some things that like when mechanical things starts going wrong with the engine, you're pretty much looking at getting towed. And I've been towed a few times, and it sucks, but it's part of it.
I'll tell you what, one of my buddies always does this, and I've started doing it too, is carrying a little propane torch in my boat when it's going to be frozen like that. And anytime you get something that, needs to be thawed out or something, you've got that torch, and that can be a lifesaver. Obviously, in the crazy situation, you had to build a fire or something like that, you can do it. But that propane torch is something that definitely want to throw in there when it's super cold like that.
Yeah, I actually I forget who it was. Maybe Dr. Duck, which we're going to talk about him in a second. Because he's been running your stand a long time, and we're going to get that. I think they talked about, I now carry I bought one of the Yeti Go boxes, the bigger ones, and I throw like a heater, the round propane heater, little bottles in that. I have a little small chainsaw in it, little hand steel saw, and I carry what are those blankets called?
Yeah, like an emergency blanket.
It's basically what it is, but I carry it mainly for my dog.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mainly something I can wrap her up in. I can put on the ground. I've put it on the ground and had her lay on it, and like we've had a little kid with us, and it's big enough. You can make it big enough that like we had it spread out where her and the kid were both sitting on it in the blind. Like they had plenty of room, and like they were insulated from the ground and everything, so it was perfect. But I think I got that from him. But let's talk about your dog stand and stuff here real quick, so we don't forget all about it. And we got to jump back over to some products on it, some more product stuff. We got off on stories, but he's been running your stand for what, like 5 years roughly now,
Yeah.
I think. I mean that talks about the quality and the brand behind your stand. I mean, it is probably one of the biggest things I notice anymore on the market. If you don't know about his stand yet, I'm gonna have you break it down in a second, kind of talk about it. But like, if you watch a hunting video and it's got timber hunting, there's a 99% chance it's your stand. Do you feel like you're pretty much I feel like you are the number one dog stand now in the timber.
Yeah, I mean, for tree hunting, it's something that is great. I was talking to Ira, um, that invented Momarsh, and I was talking about his product, and it's a great product and super useful in lots of situations. But he complimented my product and said the same thing. It's like for hunting trees, it's something that is super unique. There's nothing like it, and it definitely makes it easier. Um, and I feel like there's for a timber hunter that wants to be mobile, I think that's the best option on the market. So I think it's something that definitely is, it's one of a kind, and that's why I was able to get patents on it and stuff. So that's it's definitely something that if you're a serious timber hunter, I think it's something you got to have in your arsenal.
Let's jump back there. What made you come up with the product? I've heard you describe this recently, and
Yeah.
I think it's a big topic that needs talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I've told the story several times in different places, but basically, I was out in the middle of the woods and walked in and had a traditional dog stand and just thought maybe there's a better way to do this, and kind of came up with the idea, and then went home and built a prototype and um, went through it because I mean, we all know like a big platform stand, they are great in the marsh, and there's no other way to do it. However, if you've got a tree and you can attach to that, definitely makes it feasible to use ours. And um, so anyway, came up with a design that it's got the expandable legs that when you fold it out, it opens up and basically allows you to carry it in. We all know about the little um, lawn chairs and things like that that are portable that people have really started to use over the last 30 years. And um, like that, anything I think that's portable and can fold up and then easily be opened up and used is something that, people want to have. And I think that's the key. It's not difficult to set up, it just takes a second, but it also can save you a lot of time and effort dragging it in. So I think that's the biggest difference between it and some of the stuff that's out there.
Yeah, I mean it's very lightweight. I think it weighs just under 8 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. And it's very and like the size of it, I can fit one in my I can fit two of them under the front deck of my boat. I fit both of mine up there together, without any trouble. And I mean that the compact of them, and I basically leave them there all season, unless we're gonna walk into somewhere. I'll walk out and I'll grab one out of there. That's what I like about it, is the ability of how easy it fits up under my deck, out of the way. It's not like another thing kind of in the way in the boat. It's not something I added in a ton of weight. That was a change I made the other year. That was a gear change, was cutting weight, getting away from it. It seemed that like there's some really, really nice stuff out there, really nice products made, but some of them are just so heavy and bulky, they're kind of useless. I think that's why you see the company Heyday forming lifetime decoys. Like those decoys are so lightweight. They have their downfalls. Swiftwater, they kind of don't perform the best. They don't like it on a jerk rig or anything, but like the ability to like be half the weight. I think we weighed and compared 2 dozen weighs less than 1 dozen Tangle Freeze. I think I was almost fitting 4 dozen in the weight of that. I know in the goose floaters, I think I bought 2 dozen goose floaters and was under the weight of 1 dozen goose floaters, and that's insane, especially when you're starting to throw all that weight on a boat. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, weight is a big thing, and like you said, space is a big thing. I have guys come up to me today still. It used to be like when we were first trying to break into the market and people didn't understand what it was. I remember when I first got this thing, and I'm really excited about it. And I was at Biomeda, and I saw a guy coming out of the woods, and he had a dog, and I was like, "Hey, man, tell me what you think about this." I wasn't trying to sell it to him. I was just like, "I got this new dog stand we're coming out with," and he's like, "No, man, I got it." And he had a big stand, and I think he was, he was set in his ways. He didn't want to talk to anybody at the parking lot. But I've had a lot of people that say, "Man, I'll just use the bottom of a climber," and more power to you. I mean, I've used the bottom of a deer stand as a dog stand so many times, and it works. Um, but at some point, you want to upgrade and you want to have something. It's kind of like we were talking about waders. You don't have to have really nice waders, but they're nice, and so it's the same way. Like you can make it work. You can use the bottom of a climber and make it work, but for being mobile, walking in, saving space in the bottom of your boat, um, you know, there's no substitute for having a Rixey dog stand. So
Yeah. And something on that point, like the Mo Marshes, they do have their places and stuff, but like, so the waders for me, for an example, is I originally bought a pair of Sickas, and then I went through all the send back and all the fixing and getting them fixed and all this stuff and everything. And then the other year, I'd seen your shins when I hunted with you, and I was like, those things are pretty nice and stuff. And I was kind of like, we walked into a spot, and I was like, man, these things suck to walk in. And I finally bought a pair of shins. Well, I went another, I want to say half a season, and my shins set in a box. I tried them on, made sure I could wear them. They fit. I was like, I'm not pulling them out till I need them. Till I'm so done with these Sickas that I'm done with them. And it was right before late season last year started up here, and I was like done with them. I sold my Sickas off to somebody for $250, and the guy was like, thought I was like trying to like rip him off. I'm like, dude, no, they're gonna show up. I was like, you're gonna get them. I was like, I don't like them. They don't fit me. I was like, I don't know what it is. He said he was bigger than me, and he's like, oh, they're going to fit me fine. Maybe I was a little heavier set, a little fatter than him. I don't know what it was. But I switched to the shins, and I'm like, these things are like, I want a pair of sweatpants. I could like start running around the parking lot. I was like, this is like, you got it. Until you try something new, you don't know how good it is. And that's kind of like what I learned. Like $1,000, $2,000 pair of waders, and there's a big difference in both of them.
Yeah, my son and I had to walk in. It's the end of last year, so I had my shins for 2 years, got a leak in them, and they full warranty. They ended up giving me a new pair of waders, and I mean that to me makes it worth it when you know if something goes wrong, they're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
But I did have a hole in them, and it was a pinhole. I could have dealt with it, but I had a spare pair of hardcore neoprenes, and I had never worn them. I bought them on sale for like $100, and I was like, man, I'm gonna keep these around if I ever get a hole and need to send mine back in. This is before Shin had the place in Stuttgart. Um, so anyway, I said, all right, I'm gonna wear these, and we had about, I don't know, over a mile into where we were going, and I wore those neoprene waders, and he had been wearing neoprenes every time. And I walked in there, and by the time we got out, I was like, I am never donning another pair of neoprene waders again. I mean, I had forgotten how good I had it when I went to some high quality breathables. So we forget how quickly you forget how how stuff is
how
not
nice it is.
as easy as it used to be. And my legs were a little younger back when I had some heavy neoprene, so I don't know, maybe I handle a little bit better, but I never want to go back to another pair again.
No, I've got a buddy who, man, I love him to death, man, and he wears neoprenes, and that's all he ever owns. And I'm like, dude, those just like, I'm like, dude, those look awful. And like, I'm to the point now where like my buddy Jake, who you met down there, like, he was just getting in the duck hunt. I drug him to Arkansas, and he had to buy a pair of waders because we drug him into the middle of the swamp with a pair of waders that we did not check. That's a funny story. My brother-in-law gave us a set of waders to take down there. He's like, oh, I'll take my old neoprenes. They've been in the barn loft. We didn't do a visual check on those things at all. We took them out of a trash bag that morning, showed him. I was like, hey, slip them on, you're good to go. They had mouse holes, massive mouse holes right above the boots. And what did we wade? Probably waist deep water across that. And I mean, he was like, I'm pretty cold. I'm like, and he gets cold. Like, he's a little guy. Like, he's a skinny guy. He gets cold anyways. Like, he bought heavy base layers from First Light this year when they were on sale. And he's like, I'm not going to get cold no more. But like, we got done with that hunt. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but we can fix those, but there's a good chance they're going to leak again on this trip. He goes, I might just go buy a pair. And I was like, oh, well, do what you want. But I'm not trying to goat you into buying a pair of waders. But I think he's was talking to me the other day, and he's like, I think if we keep doing this, I keep going with you, I'm probably going to have to just end up buying a pair of them shins. I'm like, hey, not going to lie, I like them. My buddy Will, he got two holes in them. One right before he went to Arkansas, and then one while he was in Arkansas, and they fixed both of them in Stuttgart. Just warranted them, took care of him. I mean, that to me, like, that company just seems like it seems like they're the ones doing all the work, fixing it. So I feel a lot better about their warranty program. Let's say it that way. Where nothing against some of the other brands, but it seems like they're kind of getting, well, Sika by chance. When we send them back in West Virginia, they go to a place here, a scuba place. Well, no offense to that scuba place, but like, how are you fixing my waders? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're in the middle of nowhere. Like, this is not a place that, first, I didn't even know there's a scuba place in that town. It's like a very poor town that doesn't even have a lake anywhere near it. So that's the weirder part about it. I don't know why there's a scuba place there, but they're doing the warranty work for like Sika up in this area. And it's just like, we were getting our stuff back, and I'm like, I'm questioning it. And then all of a sudden we got charged. I got charged like $300 some on my last set I sent in. So I was like, I'm kind of done with you. I'll wear you till you leak again, and then we'll ship you. But
yeah, I can't say enough about the shin waders and just the customer service. And I know some of those guys, and they're really good guys, and they've really built something cool. It's really been fun to watch them. They launched their company about the same time that we launched, and to see them grow. I mean, obviously they're way bigger than we are, but just to watch that journey from them going from nothing, um, and an idea, to where they are now has been super cool. So really proud of them, and um, I'm glad that they've got a store in Arkansas. That's cool for me. It's about an hour away, so if I do get a leak or something, I can just run over there for the afternoon and get it taken care of. So to me, you mentioned that having to send yours off and not knowing who's going to fix them. I think that's a big component for me that kind of makes me want to wear shin waders and keep those. So there's a ton of good waterfowl products and waders and stuff out there, but the warranty and the customer service, I think, is the big kicker for me.
Yeah, I mean, like you have First Light who just launched their waiter. It's I assume it's $1,000 waiter. I mean, my only thing about that is it's been hyped for long enough. There've been people who were associated with that waiter that are no longer even associated with First Light. They've been like launching that product for so long, and I think that's like the one thing it kind of concerns me. It doesn't concern me. Maybe that means they took their time and did their due diligence. But once again, you have a company that I feel like is going to pawn off maybe their fixing of their waiters to some other companies and stuff. And I get that. Like I'm now with a global company as my day job, and it's trying to go from that small company mind to the global mind is very hard personally.
Yeah, I don't know how Shin scaled their stuff up the way they did, but I think it'll be tough for anybody to outperform their waiters and what they've done with their customer service and stuff. And I'm sure First Light has a plan in place for that, as well as all the other companies that are doing them. But I think once again, that having that customer service, and you can call somebody on the phone and get somebody, and they can tell you exactly what to do and when it's going to be done. I think that is such an important piece. I think people want that. I mean, we strive to do the same thing. If somebody has an issue, we want to take care of it. You hope they never do, but with something you're producing, you're never going to be perfect. So when there is something that needs to be taken care of, you try to get on it immediately. And um, I think the good companies, the ones that are reputable in our industry, they have good customer service and they take care of you when something goes wrong.
Well, let's look at Shin real quick. Like we're using them as an example because they're like kind of the newest and they're a hot topic. Is yeah, they've scaled their company up, but you're still looking at 2 storefronts. I mean, they're still pretty much direct to customer.
Yeah.
That's like you. That's a new thing. Direct to customer is a big thing. That's pretty well what I don't think you're in any stores. Maybe if you were, it'd be something local in Arkansas. If you did, I don't exactly know your wholesale plan or anything, but I think that's kind of cool. And I mean, going from that, the small company mind is you're all made in Arkansas, all made in America. That's a big thing to be said. I mean, the quality of the product. I mean, the way it's made and all that, and it being all made in America. I think that's something to stand on your own feet and say.
Yeah, and one of the reasons we've stayed direct to consumers, I have retailers reach out to me all the time to try to get us to put our product in their stores. But when you do that, when you go retail, it cuts your profit margin. So that usually means scaling up, but also um, outsourcing product. And you know, I could I could have a dog stand made for cheaper than we're having it made, even with the tariffs in place. It would be cheaper to take it to China or somewhere like that and get it made. But I think you do compromise some of the integrity of the product. Um, you lose the ability to have product control like you have. So I think that's a couple things. So I think if you ever go retail and you have to scale up, it can be done, but I think it's something that you really have to work on to try to maintain good quality control while scaling your product and taking it to retail. Right now, direct to consumer product margins or profit margins are not as much, but our quality control is awesome, and we can deal directly with the consumer. There's no middleman. There's no store controlling that. So when somebody buys something from us, we're immediately in contact with them. If they ever have an issue, we can deal with it directly. So a lot of advantages to direct to consumer, I think, and that's why we're able to keep it made in America. If we had to go to stores, we would probably have to outsource, and increase our production and do it that way. So we've been pretty lucky to have the ability to be able to have our product on the internet.
Well, I mean, this generation, it's all about that. It's all about that. Online shopping is the new thing. I mean, you have the ability to like run your own storefront online with a website. You don't need. I mean, people don't go down the Cabela's anymore and buy stuff. You buy your shotguns pretty much anymore. You can buy those overline, have them sent to an FL dealer around you. Your shotgun shells, you get them shipped directly to your house. Your duck calls straight to your house. I mean, there's no more. I mean, it's kind of like an old way. It's like there's no more salesman. The salesman position is no longer in the store. It's trying to get products in the store. It's wholesale salesman, and every day they're kind of running out of work because more and more companies are going to this online direct to consumer, and I kind of don't blame them. I mean, it's working out very well for a lot of big names in all industries and everywhere around. I mean, it's just a model that I feel works better, cuts out a lot of BS and all this stuff, and takes care of the little things and make sure the customer gets taken care of. Because if you're relying on, we'll say someone else to customer service your product when, you don't know who they're hiring to do that. I mean, they might be hiring some teenage kid, or they might be hiring some guy who doesn't care whether he has this job. He has it just so somebody's off his back.
I think that's what's so cool about shows now is like you're getting to touch and feel the product and that's kind of gotten lost, in today, people buying stuff on Amazon or any other marketplace online. And I think it's kind of made people want to go back and kind of go to a show and grab stuff and be like, oh, that's cool, I want to buy that. So it definitely has, I don't know, kind of brought a little bit different feel to those shows because of all the online stuff. But with that being said, I mean, I've got a lot of Drake stuff, and I'd say 95% of the stuff I've got that's Drake I bought online, because it's easy, and a lot of it is probably impulse buy when they send an ad and they're like 50% off this. Yeah. This fleece or something, and you're like, oh man, I can buy that now, 50% off. I'll take that deal. So definitely people buying stuff now has changed a lot in the last 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I think I bought actually all my Shin stuff so far. I put my hands on it before I bought it, but it's also either been at a trade show or like in their one of their two stores. I think other than that, like I bought my Sika waders without putting my hands on them, and I slightly regret those because of how they fit and stuff. They were like a skinny jean fit. They're like a new age young kid skinny jean fit, and it just didn't work for me. But yeah, I think you're right. Like, I mean, the trade shows give you that ability to go touch, put your hands on. You can impulse buy very quickly at those shows. I spend way too much money when I'm at.
You can spend a lot of money fast at any of those shows. That Ducks Unlimited show in Memphis, I mean, there were people there were spending money, and I mean, I think it's that way at every show. But that one, there were a lot of people there that were, buying a lot of stuff. So
yeah, I think we missed out on NWTF because they've changed how you buy rooms now. So I don't think we got a room for there. So I don't even know if we're going down to NWTF next year.
Really?
After being there like 2 years in a row, we might try to go and stay off campus. The kids are getting a little bigger. They kind of want to go to the water park, go to the trade show one day. But I think I'm going to push kind of me and her's going to talk about going to a DU next year because
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out a way to be at Delta in Des Moines. That's a little tricky one. My brother-in-law looked at me and goes, "It's only I forget how many hour drive." He's like, "It's only like an 18-hour drive. We can be there in no time." I'm like, "Okay, it's a little farther than I'm planning on driving in a car, but whatever you say, bud." So there's a chance we roll in there, but like, it's kind of the idea. We're gonna push kind of save some money from some side work and kind of like push for those shows next year. I mean, that's where you go meet, network, meet everybody. I mean, it's kind of how I've met basically everyone in the industry and stuff. I mean, they're some of the nicest people ever. Now, with that being said, do you feel like there's the same brotherhood that's kind of was there when you got into the business? Do you feel like it's grown or what?
Man, I mean, it really is cool. It's a really small network of people. Getting into it. I mean, I didn't know anybody. I was not a social media guy before I started all my social media pages for my company. So I didn't know. I mean, I knew who Jimbo was. I knew a couple of big names, and that was about it. So as I kind of progressed into social media, I would meet people that I probably was supposed to know and didn't know. So my journey into that was a little bit different than most people probably would have. I think most people probably see all these people and then they meet them. Mine was kind of the opposite. I met people, and then somebody'd say, "Hey, you know who that was?" And no, I don't know who that was. Um, so it's kind of interesting, but I feel like it's a small circle. Man, everybody is, um, everybody is out for everybody. Everybody wants everybody else to succeed, which is really cool. Um, so you know, I think that's awesome. There's not a ton of dog stand makers out there, but I know most of them, and they're good folks, and I wish them the best, and they wish me the best. And I think that's something to be said for the quality of people in this industry.
Yeah. So, we've talked about your dog stand and we kind of mentioned I done forgot the name of that thing again. Your hanger. Quick hook. I will remember that. I don't know. I can't ever think of the name of it. I actually want to call it oh shoot, not high and dry. What's the other pole that you
The pack pole.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So I actually started it. I had it on the website as the pack pole, and then I saw like 3 weeks later, and I had done a little bit of research to make sure, but I saw somebody else in the industry had a device called a pack pole, not the same as my device, and I don't think they had a trademark on it, but I was like, okay, we'll rename. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. So went with the quick hook, and I don't think that name was quite as good, but it is what it is.
I mean, it's a great product. I mean,
Yeah.
I've hung my bag off of it. I've hung ducks off of it. I don't think I've ever hung my gun off of it just because I don't ever putter that high. But I've hung like I've had both bags hanging off of it before, and it holds them great.
It's really handy. It really is. One thing I've got on mine is I've got a little clamp on cup holder, which I'm actually getting some of those to put on my website right now. It's a little clamp specialty cup holder that clamps onto the pole. And I love to drink my coffee while I'm sitting next to the dog and hunting. So I think that'd be pretty cool. There's never a good place to put your cup of coffee. You just pour a cup of coffee and start working some ducks, and I'll end up trying to figure out where to put my cup. So it's also a really good place to do that. So
yeah. So quick story on coffee, real quick. So I broke my Sika bag last year in Arkansas. The buckle broke on it, which they're known to do. They have one buckle it's metal, one buckle it's plastic. So I broke it in Arkansas, which is no big deal. I have an extra timber strap. I have the original Dr. Duck journey bag, and I took off the tree strap off of it, which I might throw that in my bag when I travel this year, just in case I would ever break another thing I can always put that strap back on, so I have a way to hang that back. But I had like a pole with me and everything, so we had all that hung up and stuff. But so I was mad, aggravated at Sika, so I bought the I'm kind of a gear guy at times, so I bought the Dive Bomb roll top bag. And they claim to be waterproof and all this, and I will tell you this much: they are 100% waterproof. If you spill 2 thermoses of coffee inside of them at the same time, they will not leak out. You can actually probably unscrew the lid from your cups and pour them back in. We were on a hunt, and I like opened up my bag, and as soon as I opened it, I had a Missouri boat ride from Dirty Duck. It's pecan flavored, and you can smell it. And like I unroll my bag and open it, and everyone goes, "What's that smell?" And I go, "Oh no!" And they were like, "What?" And those Yeti thermoses with the like hot shot lids, I have a bad habit of when I wash them, I'll pop them loose. I don't ever double check them when I put them in my bag. I've spilt more coffee in my bag on hunts and soaked everything. I've soaked my leather duck totes. I've soaked duck calls, everything in there. And like I emptied out my bag and just picked it up and like physically poured 2 thermoses of coffee out of my bag and on the ground. And everyone was just rolling, laughing. They were like, "That's hilarious." And my bag, I can go open it up in my closet and it still smells like pecans. So I've just scented it for like the next couple years until it wears out. But you're right. You never have a good place to put your coffee. I usually spill mine, so I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to have my coffee when I'm out there. So that's a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah. You got me hooked on making breakfast. I'm addicted to that now. Jake is our official. He's not our official cook, but he's our official make sure we have all the stuff to cook. So we have that every time. And like, it's like the first time you do it and everyone's with you, they're like, someone news like questions it. And then after they like eat breakfast, they're like, "Oh, this wasn't a bad idea." This is kind of like
last year on the youth hunt, we had everything ready, and I always do a big breakfast for the youth hunt. And we got everything ready. I was making those breakfast burritos and got it all done. And I was like, "Where's the tortillas?" We didn't have any tortillas, so we all were eating off whatever we could come up with, scooping some into your hand. You gotta make do with what you got.
You know what doesn't work? Don't ever try to make toast in a skillet. It don't work very well. We tried that one morning because I was like, "Hey, we forgot the tortillas." And hold on one bag. I was like, "Hey, stop me those tortillas." He shows up. He goes, "Hey, I didn't get tortillas. I got us bread." I'm like, "What is the game plan with this?" He goes, "Oh, we'll just make it into toast." I don't know what his game plan was, but he tried, and it never tasted like toast. I was like, "This is not working out." So we made sure the rest of the time we were bringing tortillas at least. I mean, that's been there, done that. But look, because I mean, we've been going here for like a little bit over an hour. I want to talk about, some of your new products you have coming out. Sounds like you've got a cup holder that is going to be coming out. That as soon as that comes out, I'm buying that because I lost my cup holder in the selling of my boat on my on my Hella Dry pole. Because they renamed their stuff. Yeah. It somehow went with the sell of my boat, which I kind of did that to myself. It was kind of like I was trying to sell a boat, and I just gotten the foul pole. And I like that. I like that pole. I like both the poles. Both of them are great poles. The foul pole kind of folds up smaller. You kind of turn me on the from that guy, and that thing is lickety slick. I will tell you that much.
That foul pole, man. I've used that thing 100 times for different things, from a Mojo pole when I forgot mine, to an icebreaker, to lots of different things. So that's a pretty cool product. T Mallard Co. makes that, and we still have it on our website. But it's something that I know the guy that started it, and I'm just trying to kind of help him get caught up. And I think he's got a good product.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, it's a great.
Yeah,
pole.
that's definitely a cool thing to have. But that little cup holder it's nothing. I think it'll be probably $15-20 on the website. And just something real simple, but something to add to what you've already got. So,
I mean, I'll tell you right now, man. I will have one. I'm gonna have to get another pole too because I have 2 stands. because it won't fail that someone will be beside that dog and they'll be complaining that they don't have a cup holder now over there. So I'll be like, oh, I got to buy another cup holder.
You know, interestingly enough, pretty much everybody that buys one at a show buys the hook and the pole together. Um, but on the website, a lot more people just buy the stand. So I guess I'm not doing a good enough job marketing the hook because it really is super handy to have. And, you know, it's something I keep one in the boat. I don't use it every time. If I'm walking a long way, I won't carry it in, but I do like to have it when I'm hunting to hang stuff on. So it's pretty handy.
It actually fits on the side of a Sika bag. If you use a Sika backpack, it'll slide down in the slots on the side of a Sika bag because that's where I carry mine a lot of times if I got to walk far. But I think you're coming out with one more product. I assume we're still coming out with that.
Yeah, the hitch. I'm actually in the process of taking product photos to get it up on the website. I've got them in; they're ready to go. I just have to get those product photos taken and do that. And we just started my real job. It's been pretty busy for the last couple of weeks, so I've been a little bit behind and still trying to get caught up from all the back orders and shows and stuff. So hopefully in the next week or so, I'm gonna have that up on the website, which is the hitch attachment. Just fits into the back of your truck, your Ranger, and the stand fits on that. And you can train off of it and use it as a step into the back of the truck or whatever for the dog, obviously. But it'll have a lot of good options. I think for people that don't have a tree or, you know, just to keep under the back seat of your truck when you're going to train to run your dog off of. I run 2 dogs a lot because I've got my Boykin and my Lab. So a lot of times I can use that to put one dog in place and work on honoring while I'm running the other dog over on the pond bank. And I won't tie them up with a check cord or anything, just to work on, you know, them having that freedom and stay in place, watching the other dog work, and then switch them out and run them the other way too. So
I'll tell you one thing. I've got one of those get up there. I'm going to get one ordered because I was thinking the other day, I was talking to someone and like we're going to probably do some dove hunting. And man, I think I'm going to be using that dove hunting. That gives me a place I can set the dog up. We'll be sitting right behind the truck anyways. It gives us a place we can set the dog up there. And like, I think about like, man, the Texas guys that run that, gives a way to get their dog up and in a place position. Because we all know, like, you kind of let your dog, like, kind of have a little bit of freedom of the ground. They wander a little bit, they move a little bit. But when you put them in, like, an elevated, like, place position, it kind of keeps that, like, makes them more steady. I mean.
Yeah. I think every dog is more likely to creep or break when they're not on a stand. So, like I said, that is good. And I think I mentioned this to you before, but you can also take a receiver hitch and one of the bolt-on receiver hitches and lag it into a 4x4 post or something like that, and or tree, whatever you want to, and have that as an easier way to put a stand on rather than using the strap to do it. So I think people running out of permanent blinds and stuff like that will be likely to use this lagger receiver in there when they're hunting out of that blind. Just slide that thing right in there.
Yeah, and then I mean, well, that's a big thing because I mean, if you've ever deer hunted, you know the straps. You can't trust those things over a long period of time. And I mean, a lot of guys, especially field guys in different areas, they're leaving stuff there full time. I mean, they leave blinds up 24/7.
Yeah. I mean, we've got I've got a friend that's got a big blind that we hunt out of, and the dog sits in the door. But I can just imagine if you had the dog sitting on the stand up a foot off the ground, that a lot of dogs work better off a stand. They return to the stand. They place. They're less likely to break. So I think that having something like that that's really easy to use will benefit a lot of people. So.
Yeah, I've noticed like Brandy, she does like off the stand. I don't really have to worry about much early breaking. She'll get a little hyper and a little aggravated I can see it in her when she gets around the young pups and we're trying to work them and she's like, hey, there's a bird out there, go pick it up, dang it. And like they sit there and fuddle for a second. She wants to start creeping off a stand. But out of a blind, out of like a field blind, she is kind of, I usually like the first like couple flocks, I usually just go and sit there on my controller because I'm like, you're gonna have to get corrected. Like I just prepare for it because she kind of wants a, it's not as, I feel like it's not as permanent. Like she feels like she can have a little more freedom and stuff off of it. She doesn't do horrible, but the first couple times a year, it seems like she wants to kind of creep real bad on those.
Yeah, you know how it is. That first, those dogs are as excited as we are, and that first flock of ducks that comes in there, just like the guy on the end of the blind that jumps up and shoots too early. Our dogs tend to be just as excited and want to run out there and do their job before it's time. So yeah, anything you can use to keep that from happening and keep the dog safe, I think is really a good thing.
Yeah, that's one thing. Me and Will, we ran your stand all last year a bunch. And we loved it. I mean, we ran the Momarsh too some because that's what he has. If we had all three dogs, he ran the Momarsh. But I mean, honestly, I think everyone needs to check out the stand. I'll make sure I put it in the website and stuff. And I know you got a lot of other. I have a couple of your hats. I freaking love the hats. Those Lost Hat Co. Man, that's pretty nice little feature. That if you're gonna go to order a stand, you might as well go and buy a hat.
There you go.
I mean, it's right there. It's just like a little. I mean, at that point, you're already spending money. That's how I look at it half the time.
And it's free shipping once you get past $200. So
yeah,
might as well throw in a hat.
Yeah,
for sure.
Might as well. Man, Todd, I can't thank you enough for hopping back on here. I know we had to redo this one, but man, it was well worth it. Chit chatting with you, and hopefully I'll get to see you maybe December, maybe January, at least catch up with you. And I know you'll be in the heart of basketball season then. I mean, you and my other friends that choose to coach sports in the fall and winter kill me. But
it's tough, It's two of my passions between coaching and duck hunting, and it sucks that they fall at the same time, but yeah, you make it work.
Yeah.
I think I got 30 hunts in last year, so hoping to try to be something close to that again this year.
I mean, 30 hunts. That's above average. I think we talked about like an average person's maybe hunting like 12 hunts a year. Really, the Joe Blow. I mean, you're doubling that, which that's my goal is to double that. I mean, I burn a lot of vacation. I think. This year, like I have a ton of vacation that kind of got rolled over due to a new job and a new owner of the company and stuff. So we upped our vacation, rolled over some vacation, which next year I'm going to be short 40 hours compared to this year. So I'm going to take as much advantage of that as I can this year. So we're going to spend some time on the road. We're starting in Illinois in 2 weeks with the Hunt Proof guys.
Nice.
So we're gonna go see what teal's all about because I've never got to really shoot teal. So we're gonna go try that out there with those guys.
It's fun when it happens, and I've been on some good ones and some bad ones. So yeah, when it happens, and I hope it does, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you again, Todd. Once again, drop your social media and stuff real quick. Everybody can find you. You're big on TikTok. We didn't even get into that, but everybody have to go follow you on TikTok because that's your big time platform.
Yeah, it really is. Rixey _RIXEY _outdoors on just about any social media platform. You can find us and check us out. YouTube's about the only one we don't post on regularly, but we do have some product videos on there if you want to kind of see what it is. So,
all right, man. Thank you again. You have a good rest of your night, and don't get on. Oh, I do have to tell you a joke real quick. Hey, I'm sorry. This one just popped in my head. You're a teacher, so I had to think of it. So I saw a TikTok video the other day. A teacher was talking about he was giving a test, and he was like, "Man, this kid's cheating." He's like, "I know he's cheating. I can tell he's cheating. He keeps looking at me. He's yawning like he's cheating. Like we're making eye contact. He's definitely cheating." He's like, "I don't know how." So everybody got done handing in the test. He got it in front of the class and goes, "Now, one of you cheated, and I'm not going to call you out, but this is your option. You either get a 0 now or you email me and I'll let you retake it for 50%. Email me by 7 o'clock tonight. Well, he's sitting at dinner with his wife, and his wife's like, well, how was school today? And he goes, well, I had this kid that kept cheating and stuff, and I gave him until 7 o'clock tonight to email me. She goes, yeah, well, has he emailed you yet? And he goes, yeah, he has, along with 5 other students.
That's about right.
So it's proves you that, I mean, somebody talked and 5 people talked and they shouldn't have talked apparently in that class. But I mean, that's like such a reality. I was like, man, that is 100% would be true. You catch one of 5, 1 of 6 cheating. I mean, it's just I thought of you as a teacher and I was like, oh, that is perfect.
Yeah. Cheating has become a lot easier in a lot of ways too now. So, it's definitely something that you have to deal with. That doesn't surprise me. I know that happens on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But
have you guys did away with? I'm sorry, this is like because we just did away. I don't know all the rules because my kid don't have a phone and he's in kindergarten. Have y'all done away with like the cell phones in school or anything like that where they lock them up and stuff?
man, I am lucky enough to teach at a school where they have never allowed phones, and so I've never had to deal with that. Now there are kids that sneak them in, but we've never been an open phone policy. I can't imagine trying to teach a class and watching a kid sitting there texting on his phone. So I have been lucky, and now the state of Arkansas kind of went to that for a while. Like, hey, let them use their phone. They're going to have it when they get older, but um, I think everybody figured out pretty quickly that's not a good idea.
Well,
It's bad enough when you've got a group of businessmen that have access to their phone, um, and then you give it to a kid and they don't have self control. So teachers talking, they get a notification, they're going to check it. So I think it's a good thing that it's gone back the other way. So a lot of schools in the state of Arkansas have gone back to no cell phones, and I think it's a good thing.
yeah, I mean, like I grew up not having a cell phone until I was a sophomore in high school, and I mean I mean now I'm horrible about it. I mean a lot of people are horrible about it. I check it like they offered to buy me one for my work, and I'm like, no, I don't need a second cell phone. That's just gonna make.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll answer my personal cell phone. Just call it, use that number. I'll answer it. I don't want a second one because I mean I got people who have it and they complain about having 2 phones. I'm like, yeah, that was your choice. They offered to not do it, and you wanted to complain. I mean,
Yeah, I don't need a second phone. I have enough calls and emails on the one I've got.
yeah. I mean, that's I'm OCD enough about keeping notifications cleared off on my emails and all that. I think I have like 3 emails in my inbox on my personal email, and like 5 that are not filed away on my work email. Everything else is filed away in a proper folder and all that. So my OCD takes over, and I got to keep everything organized. And if I had a second phone, it would just be way worse. But yeah, I think I would like to see them do that. I mean, I just think it's phones in school, or it would cut away from so much of the BS and all that. I mean, I get kids, I get it because it's part of the world now. But like, it also they don't need it.
Yeah, you also get a lot of things for teachers where kids will bait teachers into getting mad and then try to video them. I mean, I can't imagine trying to teach in a school like that. I'd go nuts.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm now starting to think that I got to convince the wife that our kids need to go to school. We have 2 boys; they can go to your school. We'll just send them to Arkansas. That's fine by me. We'll send them on down.
Send them on.
They're not going to be. Well, do you have a wrestling team for the little one? Because like they're not going to be tall.
Wrestling.
Okay, the little one's mean, but he's not going to be tall. I don't know. He might get tall. My wife, which you've met my wife, how short she is. She is not very tall, and our oldest son asked me the other day if he was going to be as tall as his cousin. Well, his cousin has a 6'6" dad, and I had to explain to him that he was not going to be as tall as his cousin. I'm like, well, you're in kindergarten, and your 3-year-old brother has caught you in height. You're probably not going to be 6 foot tall when you're in 9th grade. I mean, it's just not going to happen. It might happen. Man, you have a good rest of your evening. I'm going to hop off here, wrap up some stuff, and get some sleep for
all right. Take care.
You too, man. Later.
See ya.
Oh, my battery died. Look at that. the battery died. So now all we got is this camera. Hey, everybody, I want to remind you, Dirty Duck's been keeping me fired up all night long. That camera's probably about to die. I can't thank y'all again for listening to the podcast. Make sure you check out everything with Todd, and we'll catch y'all on the flip side here soon. Peace out.
Life Between the Volleys is brought to you by Rixey Outdoors, the number one dog stand on the market. Hunt-proof, log your hunts. Dirty Duck Coffee. If your coffee's not the duck, it must suck. Rockin' leather boots, built for work and play. Rixey Outdoors, protect your dog. Bluebird Waterfowl, changing the game of motion decoys. Winter Productions, let us tell your story.